we often feel unproductive, not only in our projects but life in general, and we feel awful about it. Why does it happen? That's right, this episode we're tackling motivation. Welcome to Think Out Loud. Good day everyone, welcome to another episode of Think Out Loud, Minds on the Mic, where we talk about life, school, and whatever thoughts come to mind, providing a platform for your ideas. I'm your host, your speaker, your friend, Mark Rebollido. And before we get into the episode, I would just like to say sorry because of the lack of uploads. We had an online class this last 3 to 4 months, and the last episode was uploaded during summer, and now it is our semestral break. So now I have another chance or another free time to make an episode. So here's the new episode, guys. So with that, let's get right into the topic. Motivation. Motivation has been really a big part in our lives. It has played a big part, and not only has, it is playing a big part in our lives. Even during this pandemic, the motivation to do online classes, the motivation to do at-home jobs, the motivation to stay fit, the motivation to do anything. And often, we feel unmotivated. We feel that we don't want to do anything. And we need to know why that happens. Because if you know why, then you can prepare to stop it. And as of the moment, we don't have anything to stop being unmotivated. Nothing I know of at the moment. So it's all about our own tactics to get ourselves motivated. But since we're talking about motivation, we need to tackle what is motivation first. So for you to know why it disappears, you need to know what it is. So I am reading off a Psychology Today article which tackles about motivation and why we lose motivation. The definition of motivation in that article is the want to do or achieve something. It is the want, the will, the desire to change. You have the nuances, passions, and confidence. You have all of that. Meaning, motivation is about you wanting to do something, you desiring, not only wanting to do something, it's about you desiring to do something. You desire to get fit, you desire to go to the gym, you desire to do better at school, and then you get motivated because of that. Or that is your motivation. So, now, that answers what is motivation, but it doesn't answer why do we need motivation or why do we have motivation in the first place. So, to better conceptualize this, we have Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, if you want to see the creator of Maslow's hierarchy of needs and his profession and then what this is all about, you can go down to the link below. So, basically, Maslow gave a theory of 5 levels of needs. So, the first one is physiological needs. So, that's basically the air, the food, the water that we need. And then, after we have those needs, basic needs, we have safety needs, which is basically security, having people around you, having your family, knowing that you're not gonna be hurt or you're not gonna lose food. Basic security, you're not gonna be hurt. And with that, you next have love and belongingness. This is basically having a purpose or having a group that you can identify with so that you don't feel left out. You don't feel that you don't belong to anything. So this can be through friends, family, or any other group that you can belong to that can positively affect you. Now you have esteem. This is basically once you have people who are telling you that they love you, you have yourself to tell you that you love yourself. You have yourself loving yourself. It's basically you loving yourself. That's the bottom line. You love yourself, you respect yourself. And once you respect yourself, you have your basic needs, you have your security, you have people who love you. Then you have self-actualization. Since you love yourself, you can do the best. You have the necessary needs that you have the necessary support system that you have, and then you have the necessary security. So now you can build yourself to be the best version of you. Then this is the final and peak of the hierarchy of needs. It is self-actualization or being self-actualized. Be the best at who you are. Be the best in being a person. This could be through moralistic beliefs, becoming a better employee, becoming a better civilian. That's basically it. So, we have 5 hierarchies. So, we go from the bottom, from physiological, then we go to the top, to the self-actualization. Now, according to Maslow, we have a natural desire to accomplish each and every one of those steps. So, once we finish one, we naturally desire to go to the next level. And it is reasonable to say that if you don't have air, food, or water, you're not gonna feel safe. So, you're not gonna accomplish safety first. You're gonna want to find the physiological needs of your body. And that's the basic idea. You just have different needs. Once you accomplish one need, you go to the next level of need. And once you have that, you feel satisfied. And each level you accomplish, you feel satisfied. And that's the basic idea of making yourself better. But if we have a natural tendency to desire to be better, why do we lose motivation then? I mean, it is said there that we have a natural tendency. Well, in actuality, there's a lot of ways to lose motivation. Number 1 could be what I told earlier. You could be lacking something in that area. If you don't feel safe, maybe poverty is hitting you. You can't afford food, you can't afford water, you can afford basic needs, housing. So, you're gonna focus on your physiological needs before you focus on, are you gonna be safe tomorrow? Which is the basic idea when we haven't advanced to the level of sophistication we have now. So, when we were just hunters back in the day, we focused our attention more on gaining food, gaining water, gaining all of those things, and we don't focus on the higher things. So, if we go back to the Greeks, we can see that Spartans and the low-level people, they are all less educated compared to the people on top because they don't focus on loving others, they don't focus on loving themselves, they only focus on being safe and having the necessity they need. So, poverty could really hinder you from advancing in life and feeling that satisfaction. So, let's say you're no longer poor. Well, we have safety needs. You may not be poor, but you might be in an area where it is full of chaos. Might not be a war zone, but maybe your family is experiencing a really rough time. You don't feel safe. And then at school, maybe not at home, but in school, you're being bullied. You feel that you're not safe at school. So, with that, you're just gonna find a way to secure yourself. Not unless you find good friends to be around you and then get your family together, or you're gonna feel unsafe. Then you're not gonna feel love and belongingness since you don't feel safe. However, let's say you're safe. You're not in a war zone. You're not being bullied. Your family is fixed, and your life is stable. Let's just say that. Well, then you're just gonna find love and belongingness. You're gonna find your friends, which is, if you already feel secure, would be like an additional to the safety needs, since you feel safe at school, which means you have friends around you to support you, so you have love and belongingness. But probably if you have anxiety or depression, it's gonna really hinder you. And if you want to see my video or my podcast about depression, just go down to the link below so we could better understand what is depression. So depression, so you don't feel love, so that's gonna hinder you from loving yourself. However, if you do have people loving you, you feel that you belong. However, if you have trauma, anxiety, it's gonna be harder for you to love yourself. Or maybe you have people that are toxic around you that are making you question. You feel that you belong to them, but they're making you question yourself. So it's hard for you to love yourself, which can cause you to be anxious, which can cause you to be depressed, which puts you back on the love and belongingness, seeking love and belongingness. But let's say you accomplish all of that. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you're not ready yet. Maybe you doubt yourself. So you're not gonna self-actualize. You're not gonna be able to think. You're not gonna be able to prepare for your future. Or not maybe prepare, I'm not saying that you can predict your future, but what I'm saying is, maybe you're afraid of taking that large step in your future. You're afraid of being seen. So you're not gonna self-actualize. It's a very hard situation where it's like a catch-22. You want to succeed, but you don't want to be seen. So that's really tugging the boat of your motivation. And those are the nuances of motivation. Not only do you feel sad, not only do you feel unmotivated, you also feel that no one is around you. There's a lot of things that goes with losing motivation. Motivation is a result of your current state in life. If you don't have the proper current state in life, you're not gonna feel motivated to go to the next step. You're gonna feel motivated to accomplish that step in your life. And there's a lot of things that can affect your motivation, especially when you have a mental illness, and you can go down below to see my episode on mental illness. And this is a very dangerous thing because mental illness not only means that you lose motivation, it also means that you need therapy. You also need external help from other people. So, what other hindrances does motivation have in your life? Another is from Giovanni Lordi. So, Giovanni Lordi doesn't have a PhD. I haven't seen any PhD or any degree, but he does make a good point here. He does make a reasonable point. So, he might not have a degree, but still, he made good points in this article. So, go down below if you want to see those articles. So, nuances. What are the other nuances of motivation? According to him, it could be not passionate, as I mentioned earlier. Passion really plays a big part on being motivated. If you're not passionate about your job, why would you do your job? Or why would you love your job? That's why a lot of office workers feel that they are stunting their growth because they don't love writing papers. That's not their dream. You don't go around as a child saying, I want to do paperwork. I want to do this and that. I want to shred paper. No. You go around wanting to be a better person, wanting to go on adventures. You want to be successful. So, maybe you're not passionate about your current state in your life or what you're doing. You're not passionate about school. You're not doing that. And then, that can really affect your motivation since you don't want to do the thing in the first place. Why would you feel motivated? Not unless doing the thing can get you the thing that you want. Then you're gonna feel motivated. But if it's just do this without getting anything you want or you're not passionate about it, it's really hard to feel motivated. Or maybe you're just lazy. And according to him, laziness is a coping mechanism. Why? Since we have a natural tendency to want to be better. Meaning, if you're lazy, there's a hindrance in your natural tendency to do better and to go up that hierarchy of needs. Meaning, you're putting off some problems. However, those problems are so big that you tend to put off your life as well. Just not do anything, since if you do something, you're gonna remember that one thing that you're wanting to forget, or if you do something in your life, you're gonna need to tackle that one thing in your life. For example, you are not skillful enough. Let's say, people have different levels of skillfulness. You want to be something, but you're not skillful at that thing. Instead of learning different stuff, you tend to just gravitate to not doing anything, since if you do something, you're gonna fail, since you're not skillful in. If you do the thing that you want, you're not gonna succeed, since you're not skillful in the thing that you want. So, it's like a very difficult situation for everyone, especially for you. And that's something that you need to tackle. Maybe it's a problem in your life, or procrastination. And this is being overwhelmed with problems. It's like there's a lot of work we need to do. I don't think I can handle this. Let's just cool off and not tackle this problem. And that's why we procrastinate most of the time. Not every time. Maybe people are just naturally procrastinators, but most often than not, we procrastinate because we are overwhelmed. We tend to see the thing and we say, that's too much. And your natural tendency is your flight or fight mode, and you tend to flight. You tend to go away from your projects. You tend to go away from your task, and then you procrastinate, and then it's gonna push more and more and more near the deadline, and then you have tons and tons of things to do. And then that gets you motivated because your goal now is to not fail. But that's really stressful. So those are the nuances of motivation, of being unmotivated. However, not only do you lose motivation, it's not like, oh, my day, I did not do anything today, it's a fluke, I'm a naturally motivated guy. No, you need to examine why you felt unmotivated that day. And you know why? Because if that persists, it's a really dangerous road to go down. Because if we look at this, the effects of being unmotivated, one of this is Dr. Jill Stowell. She talks about child development in school, and she said that having poor support systems can make the student feel unmotivated, since the students want to be better. They know that they're expected to be better. However, they don't feel that someone is helping them to be better, which goes back to our Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is love and belongingness and safety. No one is supporting them and say, hey, you can do this, which makes them feel afraid, not confident, not passionate, which is gonna lead them to not do the best that they can, which is a very dangerous route to go. And this is the dangerous part. You might not get back in track if you don't have motivation. And maybe you lost motivation because there's something that happened in your life that you missed, but your emotion got. Because trauma can be forgotten by the person. This is the same with how we got phobias. We tend to have phobias. I'm gonna link down a video down below, and this is tackling phobias, how we develop phobias in our lives. And most often than not, we develop phobias from things that happened in our childhood, and we don't remember those things, but our involuntary remembers it. And maybe that's the reason why you feel unmotivated. Maybe because you're afraid, or maybe there's something that you're afraid of that you can put your finger on it exactly, but you know that there's something there hindering you. And that is a very important thing to identify, because there is another thing, that there is this Pygmalion Effect developed by Professor Rosenthal. I'm gonna tackle this on my next episode. So the Pygmalion Effect is this: what others believe that you are, what kind of person you are, will be the thing that you think you are. And how you think about yourself will be the way you act. And those actions will reinforce their thoughts that you are not good, that you are no good, you're not doing well. And then that's how they're gonna treat you, and that's how you're gonna think of yourself. That's how you're gonna act. And then it's gonna repeat until you don't do anything. If you feel unmotivated, no one's gonna give you opportunities, since they know that you're just gonna say that it's a fluke and you did not do it, and then you're gonna lose an opportunity. And this is gonna happen continuously until you don't get to advance on your hierarchy of needs. You don't feel satisfied since you're really stunted. And that's the danger of it. And last but not the least, the reason and the most dangerous part of losing motivation is maybe because of apathy. Apathy means that you lose your will to do anything. No, why do I do this? Like, that's the question. And there is a numerous number of neurotic illnesses that apathy is a result of. This could be depression. This could be a lot of things. You can go down below to see But this can be a lot of problems that you need to tackle, because it means that you're apathetic because of something in your brain, and that needs to be handled immediately. It is not something to put off. It needs to be handled immediately so that you can go back into your normal life. So how then do you avoid this? So first, I would suggest to check on your apathy, to see a doctor if you just continuously feel unmotivated. Maybe it's something in your head, maybe it's something that you need therapy already, maybe it's a phobia, maybe it's something. So just, maybe I'm wrong, but still you need to get checked up by a therapist. And another one is if you feel, this is if you're sure that you have depression, and you can go down below again to the links that I'm showing on the screen right now and see what you can do. So one thing that I suggest that I saw is have a schedule. Fix your security. Have a schedule that you can follow so that your life could be stable. Your life could be fixed. So even though your life is like a very dangerous life, a very iffy life, you still have something to follow. You still have something to do. You still have something to accomplish that you feel satisfied with. And that's one thing that I would suggest. And another thing is explore your abilities. If you're feeling down, you feel unproductive, force yourself. Not force, but I mean, try to do something. And if you feel that you can do that, you feel satisfied. And then you're gonna do it more and more and more. People are gonna know you. And then, boom, you get your motivation back. But that's not as easy as it seems. And that's basically the idea. Fix your life, have a schedule, have a security, and lastly, and this is a cliffhanger for my next episode, a fixed mindset. You need to remove that fixed mindset. You need to turn it into a growth mindset. Maybe because a fixed mindset is a mindset that thinks that no one can change, no one can better themselves. Everyone is in a stable state as if they were like that already when they were born. If you're dumb, you're dumb. You're smart, you're smart. That's the idea of a fixed mindset. And if that's how you think, and then you see yourself as a loser, then you're not gonna win in life. So that's it. So if you want to know more about fixed mindset like that, comment down below, and I will try to make my next episode. And I hope you're doing well. And till next time, comment down below what you think, and keep thinking out loud. This is Rebollido signing out.